Is this working? Please let this work. Can you guys see me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Woo! Hopefully this works better this time. Thank you, Tina. Okay. Woohoo! I was getting a little worried there. I don't know what was going on, but it wouldn't let me get on. It just kept rolling and saying weird stuff. Okay, we made it. We made it. Hi, guys. Welcome. We're about 15 minutes delayed, but we made it. Okay. I hope you guys had a great week. The energies are kind of going up and down. So it can be challenging for many people who are sensitive to the energetic shifts. But just trust and know that everything is moving in the right direction. Everything may seem a little scary, but don't let that fool you. Okay. It is all just a final attempt to they can't really stop us anymore. Anyway, let's not talk about it. All right. All right, let's get started. So, for you guys who are new, I'm an intuitive medium. So, just know that when I do my private sessions, my channelings, I do connect on a much higher level than I do now with these angel cards. But I like doing these because I still am able to get a message for you, but I don't have to force my vibration to such a high degree that it completely exhausts me. And I get to reach a lot more people in a short amount of time. So, I always advise people listen to the messages, even if they're not personally for you. If you're getting those angel bumps, if you're getting those goosebumps, if you're getting that question in your head, I wonder if they're talking to me because this really resonates with me, then they are. Okay. Spirit knows I can't address every single person here and give every single person a card. So they will give you little nudges, they will give you little hints, little thoughts, feelings, just to confirm, hey, pay attention. This is for you as well. This is a message that we want you to hear as well. So, and I think we can all learn from each other. We're all in the direction of moving towards love, towards freedom, towards becoming the authentic version of ourselves, the self-empowered creators of our realities. So I think we can all learn from each other as well. Okay. So for those of you who don't know how it works, so I just kind of go randomly up and down. Okay. So don't worry if you not get picked. I do go up and down here. I scroll through the comment sessions, and just whichever name kind of for me it kind of sparkles like this, the name starts to glow a little bit, has this little shine to it, then that for me is a sign that spirit wants me to go for you. But again, we can all learn from each other and get messages from each other's sessions. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, what is it doing now? No, I don't want this. Hold on. My computer's doing all kinds of weird stuff today. All right. No visual or audio yet. Okay. Oh, that was before. Okay. You're getting me a little worried there again. Okay. Tasha, my sweet Tasha, let's get you a card. Tasha Valverde. Okay, Tasha. I have several cards, so I just kind of pick the ones that I'm being guided to, okay? And I wait till Spirit pops one out, and then we'll see what's on the card, and then I will share with you what I'm receiving from your team on an intuitive level. There it goes. Okay. B, spread heart healing with joy. Archangel Primanilic. It's kind of a weird name for an archangel. Okay, you get the B card, my love. The B card. You know, B's are all about family. It's all about the community. It's all about maintaining balance and love and providing. It just feels to me like you are a mother hen. You are somebody who always feels urged to take care of everyone, who always feels urged to maintain a certain balance in the home or to try and help each and every individual, each and every child to figure out their destiny, their path, their job, if you want to look at it that way. I'm getting this kind of a B movie picture in my head where they have to go and try and figure out what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, right? They get to pick one job and that's it. That's what you got to do for the rest of your lives. They're kind of giggling in my ear. So it just makes me feel like, you're always so um, focused and reactive to what the children are doing or what your loved ones are doing or your family and so on and so forth. But they're also kind of saying, look, when you do that, you do lose a lot of energy and you're not feeding yourself enough with the right energy. So you need to take care of your own inner balance as well. Giving and worrying about other people, although really not necessary, they say, because they all have their own team. They all will find their path and choose and create the experiences that they want to have in life without you. Okay. All they need from you is love and support, and if they ask for advice, you give it to them, but you don't need to take on the responsibility of nonstop worrying about their journey, about what their experiences are going to be. That's not your burden to bear. Every soul will have the experience that they chose to have. It has nothing to do with you. And as humans, as mothers, and as fathers, we believe that we have such an impact on how our children, what they're going to experience in future tense. And the reality is we don't. The only impact we have is whether we expose them to love. Okay, that's it. When they have received love, when they have understood that they're loved and supported and cared for, that is the only thing that they need to have the experiences that their soul has already put in place. A lot of humans believe that we have an impact on what job they're going to do or how smart they are or what their qualities are. And so and I'm not saying for you, I think your kids are probably getting older, but I think a lot of people out there, we force our kids to do things, lots of activities, and the more we get to do them, we think the more they're gonna, know things and be better at it and figure things out. But the thing is, we don't have to force anything because their soul already knows what they're going to learn, what they want to do, what they want to experience. So we just simply need to allow them to, at their own pace, figure things out. Okay. So the message here is spread heart healing with joy, but it's more directed towards yourself. Really take better care of yourself, feed yourself with the right energies, maintain that balance, and step back a little bit in the worry area, uh, the constant observing and trying to guide everything in the right direction. Just allow things to be as they are, allow things to unfold as they unfold. It's really about learning to surrender a little bit more and to just trust the flow of every loved one around you, including your own. Try to flow more. Everything is so natural, everything is unforced, everything is, they trust that everybody is doing the job in the family. They trust that everybody is being guided to be the best version that they can be, to follow their intuition. And they know that they're being guided on a more higher level of being. So therefore, they don't worry about every single bee. Is everybody doing their job? Are they moving in the right direction? Are they having the right experiences? They just focus on being the best bee that they can be, and being the best family member that they can be for everyone else, being there if someone needs support. If a bee gets sick, if a bee gets dehydrated, they will go and get the bee and try to nurse it back to health. But ultimately, they live much more balanced because they are in a flow, in a state of surrendering, and in a state of trust that every bee will have the experience they need to be, uh, including themselves. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I went a little bit overboard with that explanation, but I just feel like a lot of mom and dads out there can relate to this. So it's good to help the little bees around you, but take care of the main bee. Okay, take care of the queen bee, because when you're in a good place, and you are in a state of trust and flow, that will kind of rub off on everybody around you, and therefore make life much more easier for every single one around you. Does that kind of make sense? So that's the message I got for you today, Tasha. I hope that helps a little bit. They're just kind of making me feel stressed a little bit when when I connect to your energy, and it just feels like you need to relax. Everything's going to be okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Sarah says she's got a lovely beehive. Yeah, I have one too, but I haven't set it up yet because I have to find the right spot where they can be unbothered, where they can live in peace and all of that. I always peeked close by to see them each day. I wonder why they left. I'm sure they'll come back. Just understand a lot of bees are being killed by whatever they're spraying in the air. Tara Parker. My boyfriend and I have been arguing quite a bit for a while now. Is it time to end it or keep trying? Let's see what the message is for you. Which one? This one? This one. Okay. Let's take a quick peek. They were so beautiful and golden. Yeah. Okay. They'll come back, they say. Don't worry. Newbies will find you. Yes, it does. Most of my worries, though, is about their health, mental, physical. But yes, my own health is suffering. Yeah. Well, trust that, even their health will be cared for, and you'll get the right guidance. It's about moving into a state of trust. And I get it, especially if our children are sick, you want to do everything we can to make them better, but sometimes we have to trust the body. We have to trust that there's a reason to all of this, and we just kind of have to flow with it, and trust that the universe will send some kind of guiding or healing in regards to their health. Okay. But the more we try to control things, the more we block the universe from helping us. So keep that in mind. And then on top of that, we're destroying our own health. We're destroying our own balance, and that doesn't help anybody either. And then more sickness comes, and whoop, there it went. Hold on, Tara. Unraveling. Okay. Tap into your sacral power. You got 3. Become your own priority. Okay. Let me try and show them next to. This is for Tara. Tap into your sacral power, unraveling, and become your own priority. My daughter is better and in pain every 3.5 for her cycle. Okay, so if I can, what Spirit has just told me, she needs to eat, she needs to add, what is that called? Hold on, what did they show me? I know what it's, she needs to add chia seeds to her diet daily, whether it's in a little, she gets like a yogurt in the morning, a yogurt with some fruit, you add like a little teaspoon of chia seeds and you mix it. Chia seeds daily. She needs to absorb chia seeds daily. What chia seeds do, they say, is increase the production of female hormones, which will balance out the reason it kind of, when she's, it's almost like the reason she's in so much pain is because there's an imbalance hormonally, and the chia seeds will help to increase the human production of the production of female hormones, which will make everything balance out. Okay, so give that a try every day. Every day, a little bit of chia seeds into a yogurt or anything. They say even people who have a hard time getting pregnant, even people who are going through menopause or perimenopause, if you want to balance out, you want to get rid of the hot flashes, for example, people who are in perimenopause, or you want to lengthen, you're like, I still want a child, but my body is starting to shut down in that area, or you're having problems having children, chia seeds will increase the female hormone production, which will increase getting the chances of getting pregnant, which will soften the kind of the nasty side effects of going through menopause, and it can actually prolong or prevent menopause from coming in as fast, because some women they go into menopause real early, and then they're not ready for that yet. You can postpone it. You can support the female. For men, on the other hand, you can eat chia seeds. It's just not recommended to eat it in large amounts daily, because, again, it does stimulate the female hormone production. So you could get some boobies growing if you eat too much of it on a daily basis. So for men, I would say every now and then, but if women are having issues with hormones, with female problems, with periods that are very cloddy, normally periods are not supposed to have clods in it. It's supposed to be nice and liquidy and just kind of fluid, or very painful periods, chia seeds will be your best friend. Okay, there you go. I'm just sending that out there. They're kind of, yeah, they're showing me combination with yogurt for some reason, but the dairy really kind of spikes something. So try that out. That's what Spirit is telling me. Okay, Tara, I'm sorry, Tara, I'm getting sorry, Tara. They're just giving me all kinds of stuff. I haven't even been able to look at what you guys are saying. Give me a second. Let me do Tara first, and then I'll see what you guys are talking about. Okay, tap into your sacral power, unraveling, become your own priority. So, Tara, what they're really kind of making me feel is you already know the answer to the question, is what they're saying. And you know that this relationship is not meant to last. This relationship is simply there to provide you more insights, more profoundness into your understanding of what relationships are. Okay, so you need to become your own priority. It's really about, move into a state where you can first find happiness and contentment and appreciation for oneself. Okay. It's all about tapping into your sacral power. It's about understanding that in order to attract the relationship that you're really seeking, because you're really a romantic person, you really still have these kind of romantic thoughts about relationships. Those kind of relationships do exist, they are out there, but to some degree, on an unconscious level, you're still attracting individuals with the hope that they will make you feel better, and with the hope that they will improve your quality of life, improve your excitement for life. um, and because of that dependency, because of that need, they need to fill a need. And a need is always a fear based, that you're not going to get something that you think you need in order to be okay, be happy, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of a vicious cycle when we go into need, right? Because on an unconscious level, you're still seeking relationships to make you feel whole, to make you feel wholesome, to make your life seem better. You're going to attract relationships that will not last. You're going to attract relationships that will simply mirror back to you that which you are lacking within oneself. Okay. So become your own priority means really focus on yourself first. Focus on being the pillars, the sole pillar in your reality. Focus on being the person that you know you can be, the authentic person that is all knowing, that is eternal, and that is always able to take care of oneself, that is not in need of other people, but that would enjoy other people's company. Does that kind of make sense? So everything is unraveling, because unraveling for me is, it's starting to fall apart. Okay, it's starting to fall apart because, the feminine self first needs to be, I know this looks like a vagina to me, I'm sorry. um I get my messages in all weird places, because the feminine self first needs to be uplifted, first needs to be whole, first needs to feel comfortable with just being with herself. Does that kind of make sense? So is this relationship, is it meant to continue? The answer, unfortunately, is no, but they tell me you already know that. So focus on finding joy in simply being with yourself, in simply being the sole creator of your journey, and be open, uh, be open to receive relationships that are not based on a need, but are simply based on the joy of sharing your joy with others. Does that make sense? So that's what you need to focus on, my love. I hope that helps. Byron. Byron Koshman. Am I saying that right? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what spirit wants you to know today. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? This one. Okay. All right. Hi, Lexus. Has the reading sunk in, my love? Was it a reading or a life coaching? I don't remember what we had together. Has it sunk in? Byron, let's see what spirit wants you to know. Boom, there it went. Boom, there it is. Diving to new depths. There's a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what is really going on. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you are feeling about your current situation. Okay. Let's see. What am I getting for you? When I'm looking at the card, there's these two whales. You see them? And one is chasing the other. You see that? One diving, the other one's kind of like, hi, hi, hi. It's almost like your focus is too much. Your focus is too much on that which you do not want. That's what they're saying. Your focus is too much on that which you do not want. It's almost like what you want in life is not showing up for you because you're constantly focusing on the fact that it's not there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're saying you need to become much more conscious about what you're focusing on what you're putting your energy into. Because in order to manifest something, we have to already experience it today. We have to already live and act and react and feel the presence of that which is not physically yet present. Does that make sense? But if we're constantly focusing on the lack of something or the lack of someone, then you're constantly going to experience the lack, because the universe, the way that the universe operates, it gives you more of that which you are. Okay, not that which you think. It gives you more of that which you are vibrationally, and you are a vibrational match with that which you think, feel, express. That's what you're matching. Does that kind of make sense? So it's really important. They're saying stop chasing that which doesn't, which isn't there. Just trust that it's already on its way. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest, it's already on its way, and it will find you. You do not need to chase it. If it's meant to happen, it's going to find you. You can't miss it, because your soul and your team will not allow you to miss it. Okay, we can't miss destiny. If certain, for example, if it's about relationships, if certain individuals, if certain souls signed, in a way, agreed to be a part of your journey, they will come into your journey whether you pay attention or not. It's not like, oh, you missed it, darn it. you know that's just not how it works. It's always going to find a way into your life, because it was designed that way by you and by all the other souls that you've agreed to share a lifetime with. So you need to trust that. Stop focusing on what you're lacking, because you're only going to get more lack. You just self-sabotage everyone's agreement. Instead, trust. Trust that your soul has it under control. Trust that your soul has made plans and has put everything into motion for you to have the experience. Okay, because there's two aspects to you. You got the human ego and you got the soul aspect of you. There's two perspectives running the same show. Okay, both are you, but different places of experience. Okay, the soul aspect of you, that communicates to you through your intuition. That is you, but always from a higher perspective, guiding you to the right place through giving you feelings and thoughts and ideas and emotions, and all of that wonderful little stuff, even getting you sick. That's your soul doing that with purpose and intention, to have certain experiences, to guide you in the right direction, to get you the opportunities that you want to experience. And the human ego is not there to do much of the thinking. The human ego is simply there to have the physical experience. So if you work together, if you trust your soul, and if you trust that your soul has a 360-degree, your soul can see past, present, and future. If you trust in that truth, then you're in, and you follow your higher perspective through following your intuition. what do I need to do today? What do I need to experience today? Then everything will unfold exactly the way you planned it. Okay. The human ego gets in the way of the soul that's running the show in a way that's making sure everything comes onto your path. So the human ego blocks that, and then you guys are not working together. Your soul essence and your ego, your human ego, are pushing each other back and forth. There's no harmony. You got to work together. Trust your soul that it has it under control, that everything you're meant to experience will come onto your path. And all you need to do, all this human ego consciousness needs to do, is follow what feels right, follow the intuition, follow the dreams without over worrying and or trying to figure everything out, and just flow into it. Just move into it. Just trust it. Even if you don't have all the answers, where is it leading to? What is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You don't need to know the answers. Your soul knows those answers. All you need to do, the human perspective, simply needs to undergo the physical experience of that which your soul is planning and organizing and guiding you to do. Does that make sense? And that makes things a lot more easier and simple, because manifestation becomes much more quicker, because you stop getting in the way of your own higher self. You stop blocking that higher self. Okay. So be very mindful of what you focus on, what you express. Don't get in the way of your own soul. Okay. Your soul has it under control. You just need to relax and go with the flow and enjoy the physical experience of your own plans. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. He says, yes, absolutely. It's felt like a battle for a little while now. So thank you so much. You're welcome. It's going to be okay, is what they're saying. It's going to be okay. Just get out of your own way. Okay. The human ego is just simply here to have fun with it. Yeah, you come here not to say, I want to suffer for the rest of my days. No, you come here to have physical experiences of that which your soul is organizing right now and planning and getting stuff ready for you and making sure you meet the right people. Your soul is doing all of that behind the scenes and is guiding you towards those experiences through your intuition. But because we were programmed and taught to ignore our intuition and to only create life with our human ego mind, that's why 90% of people are miserable, because the human ego doesn't know shit, to be honest. It's just here to have the physical experience. But your soul knows. Your soul is doing all the planning, sending all the people towards you, sending all the opportunities towards you. But because we ignore it, because we were taught to ignore it, to not trust it, only the logical mind, they've completely disempowered us in our own creative power. They don't want us to be gods in our own reality. They want to be the gods that we have to bow to. Don't. Okay? Find that balance. Work together. Trust your soul. He's got it under control. All you got to do is follow his guidance and act upon it without questioning it to death. Okay? All right. Here we go. Hope that helps, my love. There's so many of you. Lero Dunor. Am I saying that right? Lero Dunor. All right. Let's see. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. This one. Okay. Oop. Hold on. Lero. That's a cool name. Buonasera, signorita. Dottor Giacomo. Come vai? Or how do you say it? Bene. I'm not really good at Italian. I studied 10 years of Latin, but so long ago. And quite different from Italian, despite that it's the foundation. But yes, I will pull you a card. Okay, Lero du Nord. Okay, here we go. Horse. Care for others and let them be free. Use power with wisdom. And you got one more. Live joyfully in the present. Okay. This is what I'm getting. Oh, there we go. Very powerful beings, all very powerful in their own unique way. The bear has the physical strength, okay? The bear has the physical strength and is a great hunter, okay? Dolphins have spiritual strength. They are able to connect interdimensionally with other beings and are able to use telepathy to communicate and also to create. And then the horses, they have this kind of free energy. Okay, it's all about family, being with a community, being of service to a community, but it's also about allowing yourself and others to be free who they are. So Lero, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to what are you really here to do, you're here to be a support. Okay, you're here to be strong and stable and balanced. First you got to find that before the job or the ideal job comes in. Okay, but you're here to be a guide, you're here to be a supporter, a pillar that other people can lean on. Okay, so that means that any kind of jobs in the care sector, it could be being a life coach, it could be being an inspirational speaker, it could be helping homeless people, helping homeless families, providing them with support, providing them with guidance on, how to get things back in order. Any kind of job where you're a guide, a healer, and a teacher, all kind of combined in one, is what you're here to do. But the thing that blocks you, it's not so much I don't feel like you've limited yourself to one thing. I feel like you have created this journey to be open for you to fill in that job the way you see fit. It's always going to be in function of others. It's always going to be to help, to heal, and to guide others. Okay, but the biggest message I'm getting in is that you are still dealing with trauma from your past. They're showing me that on an unconscious level, there's it's almost like a childlike, scared human being inside of you, scared about judgment and being what's the right word? I don't want to say let down, but it's almost like being put down. It just feels like you're so afraid of other people taking, what's the right word? Other people taking away what you enjoy. There's something about every time you get something good, something happens and someone takes it away. Does that kind of make sense? It has to do something that happened into your childhood. There's a trauma there that Every time something good happened, it didn't last. Somebody took it away from you, or somebody convinced you to step away from it. There's a trauma there, and you need to heal that. That needs to be released. You need to give it back to the ether. Um, um, Allow yourself to declare, I no longer need to be scared anymore, because I'm now becoming the most authentic creator that I'm meant to be. It's about bringing back that power. It's about releasing the idea that other people can take things away from you without the thing that there's nothing you can do about it. There's a fear inside of you that even if I try really hard, and even if I put a lot of work into it, there's always the chance that somebody stops me from doing it, or somebody destroys it, or somebody takes it away. Maybe a bad review, or, or a judgment of someone, and the whole thing collapses. Does that kind of make sense? It's affecting everything in your life. The idea that something good is only temporary, so why even bother putting all the effort into it? And then because you don't do the thing, then you start to attack yourself. Why can't you do this? Why can't you? It's just this vicious cycle, I see, of fearing judgment, fearing the loss of something good, something you've invested energy into, something you've invested time into. And then it puts you in a state of kind of paralyzation, and then you want to do things, but you're like stuck, because that fear is constantly hanging over your head. And then because you're not moving forward and you're afraid to move forward, then you start attacking yourself. And there you go again. It's just on and on and on, and that energy will affect everything in your life: job, relationships, finances. Everything is being, in a way, tormented by this trauma that you've had growing up. Maybe, everything good always went away, friends disappeared, or whatever it may have been, but there's something, that deep trauma, that needs to be released. And then you'll see that, release it, because you don't want that to continue to infuse every aspect of your creation. Okay, even if you hide it and you put it in a drawer and you never look at it again, it's still there. It's still infecting your energy, and it's your energy that manifests, right? So you're here to help people, and maybe, what they're kind of saying is, you first have to help yourself how to heal from the trauma, and from that you will learn how to help others heal their trauma. Okay, and that's going to be the career that you're seeking, but that cannot occur until first you apply it to yourself. And through applying it to yourself, that's how you learn the skills. That's how you will do the research. That's how you will look into maybe classes, or something to study. I mean, it doesn't have to be, it could be something, just studying stuff online that you can access for free to help yourself. But as you're looking for a way to remove this trauma permanently, to heal yourself, that will be your schooling, that will be your education to become the healer that you're meant to be. Does that kind of make sense? So what you do for yourself will become your job eventually, because you will know it works, you will know what it feels like, and that makes you a better healer, because you will have gone through the whole thing yourself. Does that make sense? So that's kind of how you have to see it. So be patient with yourself, trust in the natural rhythm of things. And just know that you're going to find your way, but it starts with you. Okay, it starts with you. So there you go, my love. Hope that helps. Okay. Perdita good now. Good now. Okay, Perdita. 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 Whoop. There they go. Hope is the conduit for miracles. There's one. And then in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. There you go. Okay. Perdita. It's kind of weird because when I look at the cards, I have this contrast. It's almost like one's like summer, sunshine, blossoming, and the other one is nights, darkness, snowy. That's kind of, I get these kind of opposite um, energies. It just feels like you're in a state, it's almost like you're paralyzed, like you're stuck, or you, at least that's the feeling that you have, or the experience that you have. You're stuck. Nothing's moving forward, everything just kind of stays the same, and you're kind of fed up with it, you're kind of tired with it, right? And the reason that is you're going back and forth on an energetic scale. Does that kind of make sense? Right, you're going back and forth, you're going back and forth. And so think of your soul and your ego pulling on both ends of the string. Both of you are trying to move in a certain direction, but you're constantly pulling against each other instead of helping each other and going along with each other. So because of that, it's kind of like pushing, you want to move forward in your car, but you're pushing the brake and the gas all at the same time. Your car's not going to go anywhere, right? If you put brake and gas at the same time, it's just going to go, it's going to make a really annoying sound, but you're not going to move forward. Okay. So it's really important to find balance. It's really important to move into a state of trust as well. Okay. Kind of similar to a reading we've had before, but it just feels like you gotta let go of needing to know all the answers, let go of needing to be in control. Okay, the human ego, it just feels like because you're so stuck, and because you're not enjoying life at the moment, it just kind of feels like you're trying, how can I explain that? If I'm feeling a lot of different things, but it's like, how sometimes um the more we feel out of control, right? Because life is not moving the way we thought it would. Life is not manifesting the way we thought it would. We're doing the work, we're doing this, everything is, even the spiritual aspect of ourselves is work, and it feels like labor. And I'm doing the processing, and I'm doing the healing, and I'm believing all of this stuff, and yet nothing. It just feels like nothing is happening, right? And that's because everything you're doing with, it's not natural. You're trying to control the situation. If I meditate, then life's going to get better, and if I do the healing and the cleansing, then life will get better. The energy behind what you're doing and how you're doing it is out of fear that if you don't do this work, you're not going to have the life you want, and you're not going to be able to enjoy it, and you're not going to find the abundance that you want. Does that kind of make sense? So everything you do is with this energy of control. I have to get it right, or else I'm not going to wake up, or else I'm not going to move into 5D, or else I'm not going to find the perfect job or be able to have the perfect relationship, or whatever it is that you're thinking. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Let go of the control. Spirituality should never feel like a job. It's just remembering who you are. It's that's your natural state. You shouldn't have to work on it. Some people are like, I'm trying to awake, or I'm trying to heal, or you know you don't need to work at it. You simply need to let go of stuff that's just simply untrue, if you know what I'm trying to say. Stuff that just simply doesn't align with spiritual truth. It's about releasing. It's not about working at it. It's not about trying to control everything that you do. You're going to drive yourself absolutely bonkers. you know? And it's just exhausting, trying to guide everything just right, and trying to heal just right, and trying to spiritually awake just right, and being the spiritual person that you're hoping you can be. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Spirituality shouldn't be exhausting. Being your most authentic self and moving into a space of uh, becoming the ultimate manifester of your journey is not about working hard at it. No, it's about releasing and letting go. It's about surrendering and understanding. It's about aligning and making a belief system into a knowing. Okay, a belief system, you still got to convince yourself that you believe what you believe. Okay, but you don't need to believe what you believe. You just simply need to know, because when we know, we no longer have to convince ourselves that what we know is true. We just know. Okay, so it's all about release and surrendering. Does that kind of make sense? So you're constantly pulling back and forth. Okay, you're pushing on your gas, you're stepping on your brake, you're pushing on your gas, you're stepping on your brake, and that's kind of hindering you from moving forward. So learn to release, learn to surrender, learn to let go. That which no longer works for you, that which you no longer want in your journey, that which you no longer resonate with. It's not because stuff is happening outside in the world that it has to be part of your reality. Okay, there's many different parallel realities happening all simultaneously on a similar earth frequency. You can tap in and align with any kind of reality you wish, um, but you will always align with the one that you are, right? So the way that we change who we are, the way we change our frequency, is by moving in a state of trust, moving in a state of knowing, releasing the garbage that they piled upon us, that we no longer want to accept, okay, that we no longer want to participate in. That's how we do it. Does that kind of make sense? Oh, Eric is rubbing my nose like a crazy person. Eric says hi. Okay, he's always messing with my nose when he comes in. Eric is my guide. So if anybody wants to know who Eric is, he's just going, hey, motherfuckers, how's it going? You and your big mouth. He's like, that way they can feel me more intensely. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, I hope that makes some sense. I don't know if I'm expressing it correctly, what I'm picking up on intuitively, but I hope that makes some sense. So just release, have fun, stop working at being spiritual, and understand and know that you already are spiritual. You've just been covered up with a lot of bullshit that's disconnected you from who you truly are. Okay. All right. Who am I being drawn to? Sarah Roust. Am I saying that correctly? Roust. Any kind of, what is it? Any guidance on how to better support my newborn and her pain? Okay, let's see if I can pick up on something. Hold on. Which one? This one. see. Your mind, your body, your soul. Okay. This is the card that came out. Everything is connected. Any kind of pain, any aches, any illnesses that a physical body expresses always comes from an energetic source. Okay. So what's really important, one, is for you to talk to your child. Okay. Even if they're really little, I don't know how old your baby is, but even if they're really little, their soul is listening. Okay. And their soul is is eternal. Okay. Really provide comfort. Letting your child know that it's safe with you, that you will never abandon it. They're showing me that there's a connection to another lifetime, and it came in with a certain trauma. It's not your fault. And in some way or form, that is being expressed through illness, is what they're showing me. But you see, when we're looking at the card, they're showing this really kind of like light, bright source right there in the solar plexus. So a lot of energy needs to be cleansed from a previous lifetime, and it's really important to, one, understand that a lot of things that are happening are coming from kind of a past life that needs to be balanced out, and it all has to do with mental support, love. It has to do with a constant validation that everything will work out, that you are always there. There's some kind of abandonment issue, and I would have to really move into a channel state to get more details, but intuitively it just feels like there's something about abandonment, loss. A lot of fear. So what they're showing me in my head is this kind of scenario of, in a previous life, your child um, lost its entire family in a bombing, is what they're showing me. Your child survived, but because everyone that your child ever loved was just kind of wiped away in a matter of minutes, that trauma was so intense that eventually your child committed suicide in a previous lifetime. Okay. In this lifetime, it's almost like it's brought a lot of that trauma in to be healed, to feel safe again, to feel it's almost like to have confidence that everything's going to be okay. So yeah, they keep repeating in my head, talk to your child, tell her it's safe, tell her nothing will ever harm your baby. It just feels like, yeah, comfort, 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 comfort. That's really what they're showing me. When it comes to the physical aches and pains, I know this might sound weird, but they keep showing me like CBD oil. I don't know if the pains are in the belly, but they keep showing me the belly, the solar plexus. That's where the trauma is. It's in the solar plexus, the belly area. So for the physical, it just feels like CBD oil, very small dose. But it's mostly energetic and mental. It's healing from, yeah. And now that might not, I don't know if that'll help, if you kind of understand what I'm trying to say, but really focus on that solar plexus. That's really what they're showing me. The yellow. Yeah. I don't know if that helps, but solar plexus, really addressing and continuously confirming safety, love, prosperity coming, and all of that. And then, yeah, they're talking about a little bit of CBD oil, not a lot, very small dose of CBD oil to really help with the aches and the pains. Does that kind of make sense? Thank you so much. Yes, the pain is in the belly and everything else makes so much sense. She feels scared. Okay. Okay. I'm glad it makes sense. It's just a lot. Like, I just feel like there's so much going on. You know, when we look at a child, we think it hasn't gone through anything yet. But, you know, it's sometimes we do bring a lot of stuff in from previous lives that need to be addressed in this lifetime. And so just know that, yeah. She just, she needs you. She chose you to be her healer. Okay. So talk to her. Okay. She needs you. All right. Okay. Gonna be okay, they say. Don't worry. She's gonna be fine. But it's gonna take time. Okay. Patty. Patty Tracy. My plans are not working out. Well, that's not good. Okay. Every plan works out. You just don't understand what the plan is. That's the thing, is what Eric says. Did you get that one? Okay. Everything is working out. You just don't understand the plan behind the plan. Okay. You don't understand the plan behind the plan. Okay. All right, Patty. Let's get you a card. Hi, Nana. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, he's being a pain. Eric's messing with the lights. He's being a pain. That's why we love him. Patty. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Dog. Be disciplined in your home and community life. Okay. It's all about self-discipline, my love. It's all about self-discipline. It's about trusting the process. It's about trusting that every door that closes, another door opens up that's going to be better for you, that's going to be more aligned with you. Okay. Trust that your soul knows the plan. Trust that your soul has something better for you waiting, because it does. Okay. You see the two dogs? That's you. That's your soul. Okay. Your soul is from a higher perspective. She knows exactly what the plan is, and she knows that even if what you designed currently isn't working out, it wasn't meant to be worked out. But she says it's important to look at what you're learning from these plans not working out. Okay. What is, what did you, yeah, what did you learn from the experience? Okay. Things might not be working out the way your ego planned it, but you learned something. So you're being taught something. Okay. You're having experiences that will help you, um, Yeah, that will help you expand, that will help you match this new opportunity better. Okay. So it's important to, yeah, trust that there's two versions of you working on this plan. Trust that no plan ever fails. Everything you experience has purpose, has intention, is helping you to move more into your most authentic self, is helping you to understand aspects of yourself better, is helping you to align with something that will bring more than you can possibly imagine. Okay. Trust that the universe, that your soul is always guiding you into a direction that will be more suited for you, that will be more abundant for you, that will be more fulfilling to you. Even if the human ego thought it had it all figured out, just know that that experience of what you believe is failing is simply a stepping stone to become more um, self-disciplined, to become more self-aware, to become more aware of what you want and what you don't want in this journey. Okay. So everything is happening for you. Everything is there to help you become the better version of you. Okay. To become the more enlightened version of yourself. So embrace the failure, because nothing ever fails. Everything is simply a block, a step for you to move into something that's more aligned with you. Okay. So look at it from a curiosity perspective. What am I learning from this? What could this be leading me up towards? And so on and so forth. Okay. So do not utilize the word failure. They're just stepping stones for you to expand on. Okay. Everything you experience is a tool for expansion. So look at it from a positive angle. Okay, this isn't working out the way I thought, because I know my soul has something better, something more in alignment with me and what we want to experience. But I'm still going to utilize this opportunity as a moment of learning, a moment of self exploration, self of becoming more self aware, and a moment to learn how to better control or better guide my own emotionality. I do not have to panic because something isn't working out the way I imagined it. I do not need to be in a state of despair. I do not need to feel stuck. I do not need to. Those are all things that you can learn from this opportunity. That's what this gift is giving you. The gift of failure has many things that it can teach you, many things that you can master. So in the future tense, none of the failures will ever hurt you or harm you or make you feel low. Does that kind of make sense? All opportunities to become self disciplined, to master one's emotions, to master one's thoughts, and to give you bravery and courage to become curious of where your soul is guiding you to next. Does that kind of make sense? So get excited about, ooh, there must be something better out there for me that I haven't thought about yet, that my human ego hasn't thought about yet, because otherwise my soul would not be leading me into a different direction. So look at it from a different angle. Okay. It's all happening to help you, and it's not happening to make you feel like a failure, because failure doesn't exist in this reality. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, Dr. Giacomo. Dr. Giacomo. Giacomo. We were going to do a card for you. Okay. Hold on. Which one? That one. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Patty. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's really kind of you. I have a dry throat. Whoop, there it went. Transformation, Dr. Giacomo. Transformation. Okay. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Okay, so they are showing me that a lot of things are going to change for you in the near future, but unfortunately, that also means that you're going to lose things, or you're going to lose friendships, relationships, whatever it may be. It just feels like, unfortunately, in order for you to move into the higher vibrational 5-dimensional plane, your soul really wants to permanently reside in a much higher frequency of being. You kind of have to lose yourself. Okay, you have to transform into the more purest version of self, a version that's no longer operating in the same way that it always has been, because the way we used to operate in a 3D world just simply doesn't work in a 5D world. So that means that the transformation that is happening is real, but it can be very uncomfortable at this moment. But they're urging you to trust. They're urging you to surrender to the transformation, and to know that anytime we lose something or something falls away, it creates space for the high vibrational beings, friends, things, opportunities to come in. Okay, so anytime something falls away, it just opens space, makes new things coming in much more easily. Does that kind of make sense? But it's almost like they're trying, the biggest feeling I'm getting is just comforting you. It just feels like, just trust it. Okay, a lot of things may change, a lot of things may start to feel different, but trust that it's all moving you into the right direction. I'm looking at these kind of wings, but they're transparent, and it just kind of feels like there might still be transparent, right? That the changes are happening without you being able to visually see it, without you being able to, physically touch it, but it's there. Does that kind of make sense? Like, those wings will become permanent physical wings. Right now, they're just kind of like energetic, right? Stuff is happening behind the scenes on an energetic level. The transformation is occurring, but it takes time. If you want to look at it from a human perspective, it takes time to show itself in physical reality, to balance out in physical reality. So just trust the transformation, and trust that it's happening for your good. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay. Victoria Catchpole. Victoria, let's get you a card, my love. Now, if you guys love these card readings, I do them every week on my Patreon page. Okay, I think it's like $5 per month. And you also have access to over 200 channeled posts, healing videos, meditation videos, all kinds of extras, and all kinds of fun stuff. Also, starting next year, I will restart the celebrity interviews, where I will be channeling deceased celebrities or deceased souls who have something to say. They will only be fully accessible on my Patreon page. I will put a very small part of it on YouTube, but because YouTube is always censoring my videos, I will only put a glimpse on there. Oh, there it went. So if you want to see the full interviews, you will have to unfortunately sign up for my Patreon page, which you can sign up for and cancel at any time. If you say, I just want to sign up for a month and do as much reading and watching videos as I can, that's fine too. Do what you can on your budget. You always have access to all the content, even if you only pay for a month. That's fine too. I try to post weekly channelings. Sometimes I mix it up a bit with healing videos or other things. But I do try to do these card readings weekly. And also, there's less people in the group then. So, the chances of getting a card is much larger. Okay, Victoria. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. When I'm having fun. Stop stressing, girl. Fun. Okay? You need to relax. Okay? Plan a little getaway. They're talking about, the more you're in a state of stress, the more you're in a state of feeling imprisoned and feeling victimized by your environment, by yourself, and so on and so forth. The more you're in a negative space, the less anything manifests. Okay. It doesn't help you or anybody else to remain in a space. And you need to acknowledge that. You need to understand that. You need to become aware of that. So, the best way you can help yourself is to have more fun, is to just say, fuck it. Okay, you gotta say fuck it in life. All right. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can die, and then you're happy, healthy, in a state of bliss constantly, all day long, every day. You know, we're just here. This is just a virtual projection. You're not even really here. Okay. Your soul is always in heaven. Your soul is always in a higher dimensional plane, having a 360 perspective on everything. It is simply placing a part of its consciousness into a temporary physical vessel in the lower vibrational planes in order to be able to physically experience that which it cannot experience in a higher realm, in a higher frequency. Okay. So, one, you're not really here. Two, it's true, right? Just think of Avatar movie. The guy in the booth that's paralyzed is in his booth, puts his consciousness into a blue body somewhere else. That's you and your higher self. Your higher self is always in the booth, always where it needs to be, where she needs to be. Simply having a virtual reality experience by placing a part of its consciousness into a temporary physical vessel. It feels very real because it's designed to be that way. Okay. But know that there's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to be stressed about. She has everything under control if you just let her do her job. Okay. Work together with her, trust her, move into a state of surrendering. Okay. And just know that when we're in a state of fun, when we're in a state of appreciation, when we're in a state of love, even if or you look around you and everything sucks, okay? Just say, but not everything sucks. I got shoes on my feet. I can eat. I have electricity. I can take a bath. I can watch TV. I can go outside and enjoy this beautiful planet. I can do so many things that a lot of other people can do. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be happy for. Start simplifying the way you see your life, okay? Live in the now moment. your head is too much in that future tense, and it just stresses you out because you don't know how it's all going to come to pass, and you don't know how it's all going to move in a positive direction, and how can it be fixed, and how can it be, it's going to get fixed. Everything can get fixed. Just think about it. Our whole lives, ever since we were teenagers, we've been stressing about, I'm never going to find love, and I'm never going to find this, and I'm never going to be able to do that, and I'm never going to get my driver's license. And problem after problem have arisen as we're growing up, thinking it's the end of our life and it's never going to happen. And guess what? It all happened, and it all went, and you all experienced it. And, it's all going to be fine. Okay? It's all going to be fine. You have to remind yourself that you've already come this far, and everything that you in the past thought was unfixable and was the world falling apart around you got fixed, and everything moved forward, and everything came with lessons and stuff that you now understand. Oh yeah, I learned a lot from that, so many years later. It always turns out okay. There's not one problem that cannot be fixed. Not one, okay? But the one problem that is the most important one to fix is your joy. Because when we're in a state of high vibration, when we're in a state of joy and love and gratitude, even if it's for the smallest things, when I wake up in the morning and I see my husband still breathing next to me, I go, thank you. I'm so happy you're still here. And then my husband looks at me and goes, I'm so happy I'm still here too. I get excited about everything. I got twinkle lights. I get so excited about every time I turn my twinkle lights on, I'm like, twinkle lights. Learn to simplify. We have so much to be grateful for. All of us, we have so much to be grateful for. But because we're always focused on projects out there and things in the future, we miss out on the joy here. And when there's no joy today, there's no joy tomorrow. Because what you are vibrationally today, what you match vibrationally today, is what you attract tomorrow, is what influences what you manifest tomorrow. Okay? It's so simple that it's hard. Why? Because we make it hard. Because we were always taught that life is difficult. Life is hard. We have to work hard at it. And everything is a struggle. Everything that's good has to be a struggle. It's not. It's bullshit. We turn it into a struggle because we go into a state of fear, because we go into a state of stress, because we're so afraid that we're not going to have certain experiences that are going to make us happy, while we can choose to be happy now. We can choose to simply be happy with what we have, with the people we meet on the street, with the strangers we say hello to. Start with something simple. Say hello to every stranger you meet. Okay? Brighten people's day by simply smiling and saying, good morning, good day. The simplest acts of joy can spread like a wildfire, and you'll see people smiling back at you. Have you seen those videos online where people stop in their cars and they say, hey, you, and they say a compliment to the complete strangers, and you can see the people go, what? And then they say a compliment, and they're like, oh, you just made my day. Something like that. Okay? Anything can change your day. Give yourself compliments. Look at your past and go, fuck yeah, I'm still here. Fuck yeah, I am a creator. And fuck yeah, I'm going to have some fun in this life. There's no need to be scared. You're in control. Always have been. Do not get disillusioned with the idea that other people are in control. Other people are creating your reality. If you believe that, you will have that experience, but that doesn't make it real. You create your own reality by aligning with a definition that is not true, but you making that definition true. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in the world, so oh my God, they're affecting my joy. Doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a part of that story. You don't have to be a part of that script. Choose your own script. Make your own script. Okay? And then you'll see that the world around you, slowly but surely, all of that shit stops. It just stops turning up. You won't see it anymore. I don't watch the news. Half of the shit doesn't show up until people send me a message and go, Emma, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh, really? That's what's going on? You know? It doesn't have to be part of my reality. You can be completely content and find my environment aligned with that contentment. Okay? There's not one reality. Nobody can hurt you because you can align at any moment. You can wake up in a parallel version of that reality where that which you don't want is no longer a part of it. That's the reality. Got it? So, Victoria, you're the fun that you're missing. Start loving yourself. Start seeing the funness in you. Love yourself. Praise yourself. Spoil yourself. Take a little bit of a retreat. Go into nature. It doesn't have to cost anything. Make a picnic for yourself and just go and eat it on the grass. Anything can bring joy. Lay down, watch a blue sky with clouds and some chemtrails every now and then, but just ignore the chemtrails. You know what I do when I see chemtrails? I go erase. I imagine that I have an eraser and I am just trying to erase them. And I'm like, not my reality. Mm-mm. I know they're going to be gone one day because that's my reality I'm manifesting because I'm erasing that shit. Okay? With my little eraser. So don't take life so fucking serious. It's my personal advice from me to you. They are calling it fun. Get back to your childlike energy of fun and playiness. Don't take life so seriously. And just know that everything is going to unfold when you relax. The more stressed you are, the more fearful you are, the more you block shit from unfolding. That's the truth. That's how the energies work. Okay? Your soul has a plan. Trust your soul, but allow her to do the work. You can't keep blocking her by being in a distressed state. And I'm not saying this to piss you off. And if you are pissed off, be pissed off. That's fine. Okay? But know that it doesn't help you or anyone. Okay? All right. Victoria, I know you can do this. I want you to wake up tomorrow morning and express everything that you have that you're grateful for. Hot water, electricity, food on the table, people I can talk to, whatever it may be. Slippers that are fluffy and soft, warm clothes, pets maybe, whatever it may be. You just, every day, that's what I do. You know, Emma greets the day as me going, ooh, I'm happy for this and I'm happy for that and happy for this and happy for that. Doesn't mean my life is perfect. I got autistic children that need care constantly. A lot of stuff goes. I'm like, I get stupid paperwork and then I'm like, it'll be fine. And I just go, yeah. I don't worry about it anymore, okay? So there you go. Okay. Susan says, I live in Chile and I've seen chemtrails for 12 years, but this month so far it is clear and bright and beautiful. Yeah, over here it's reduced a lot because I'm moving into realities where that shit is forbidden. So I'm erasing them with my imaginary eraser. Yes, I am. Byron says, may I ask, will I get freedom from past people stalking me? Yes, stop feeding the narrative. Stop thinking about them. Erase them from your thoughts. Erase them. That's what the message was. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want, okay? Ignore them. They do not exist. Write them out of your story, okay? And then so it will be, all right? I know it sounds easy, but it really is that easy. We just have to believe that it's that easy. Okay? All right. Nana's 4MZ. Nana. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. Pam, is that you? Is that Nana? Is that Pam? I used to call Pam Nana. Is that you, Pam? My sweet Pamela. Could be wrong. I haven't talked to Pam in a while. Susan says, I say that every morning while making coffee that I'm so freaking happy to have it. Me too. Every time I eat a little pie, or I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so blessed. Even when, every time I'm able to pay a bill, I'm like, I am so blessed that I'm able to pay this bill. I am so blessed that this company is trusting me to pay my bill on time. It's about changing our relationship with money, looking at it from a different angle. Instead of getting angry, I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for that, change the narrative. I am so blessed that I have the ability to pay this bill in full today. Look how abundant I am. Change the narrative, okay? Even if you're struggling, financially, express how blessed you are that you are abundant enough to pay this bill. And guess what? Eventually, the universe will say, yep, you're abundant. And that will show up. Somehow it will show up. I can guarantee you. Gerald and I used to struggle when we were first married all the time. And I was so sick and tired of worrying about it. I just told the universe, you know what? You guys figure it out. Just make sure we're comfortable. That's all I want. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable and just not have to worry whether or not I can pay my bill this month. And slowly but surely, stuff started showing up. I'm telling you, we won some money, and then we got like a refund from the government. Oh, you overpaid. And we got a refund here and a refund there and something extra here. And I was like, oh, cool. And now I don't think about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Because every time I pay a bill, I declare it. I am so blessed that I am wealthy enough to pay my bill without worrying. And that manifests itself that way. Woof, there it goes. Nana. Turtle, be joyful and trusting. Okay. There you go. Nana, banana. Okay, this may sound weird, but they're talking about grounding. They're talking about allowing the energies to flow through you. It's almost like something needs to move. There's a blockage in you in some way or form, a heaviness, a heavy energy that's kind of stuck. And because of that, it almost feels like your energetic flow, your energy field, everything's not going smoothly. It just feels like, it's having trouble to, because, okay, let me explain what I'm seeing. Energy comes in this way, goes through the body, exits the feet, goes back up, comes back in, okay? Kind of like a wave. It's constantly circling like that, right? And so every time it goes through the feet, it goes into the soil, it gets cleansed and cleared, goes up into the air, comes back in clear, okay? But when there's a blockage, an energy blockage in our energetic field, it has issues fluently moving through the body, right? It gets stuck, and it's like it's almost like an old lady trying to get through something. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't flow easily. It comes in and it's struggling to get through your body. Okay. So really do some cleansing and clearing. It just feels like you've absorbed a lot of shit from people around you, from the universe around you. You are an empath. You are very connected. You are very sensitive to energy, and therefore are a sponge of energy. So a lot of the stuff that you're feeling, maybe feelings of being down, or just kind of being without energy, or just kind of being in that blah mode, it just feels like it's not you. Okay, it's almost like you don't even know why you're feeling that way half of the time. It's not you. You're absorbing too much shit out of the ether, and it's making your energy block up within your vessel. So you need to improve the circulation. You need to improve oxygen intake. Do some deep breathing exercises. Ground barefooted on the floor. Hug a tree while you're at it. Take foot baths with sea salt and a little bit of lavender oil or something, just because it relaxes you. But the sea salt is a cleanser, but you got to do it regularly. Okay, you need to be much more per, not persistent, but consistent. That's the right word. You need to be much more consistent in the maintenance of your energetic field. Does that kind of make sense? Because otherwise you're gonna get aches and pains, and it's just gonna manifest into something negative if that energy is not flushed out. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm seeing. The energy, goes in, and then it gets stuck here. It's almost like a knife in the middle. It gets stuck, and it does come out, but because it's stuck there, it doesn't do what it's meant to do. It doesn't cleanse and clear the way it should. So really help and assist your energetic field in clearing and cleansing regularly. Make it part of a routine. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. We never forget to brush our teeth, but we forget to brush and clean our energetic field. And it's what makes our bodies either thrive or fail. Okay. There's not enough focus on the energetic body. And it's the most important body there is, because the physical expresses what the energy holds onto, what your energetic body holds onto. So really, be joyful and trusting, it says, but it's about, bring the joy back into your life by cleansing all the muck, the trash that you absorb as you go about your day. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. I just feel that, I don't know, there's some kind of physically, Nana, there's something physically that's, manifesting or not. You're not feeling 100%. I hope that makes some sense. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Noor Jamal. Okay. Noor Jamal. Hopefully I say that right. Which one? This one. Okay. Noor Jamal. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Hold on. Card for Noor Jamal. Oh, there it went. Monkey, experience all that life has to offer. And ladybird, accept happiness and good fortune. And it's almost like the feeling I'm getting is it's almost like you've convinced yourself that you deserve being in some kind of state of depression. It's almost like you're aligning with it. It has become your story, and it doesn't need to be, is what they're saying. You need to be open to, it's almost like you need to open back up. You're really in a state of depression, and you've accepted it as your story. And maybe you're thinking, no, I want to transcend this. I want to surpass it. I want to get rid of this depression. But they're saying unconsciously, you are choosing, and again, this is unconsciously, you're somehow choosing to align with that story. So it's all about one, you need to really sit down with yourself and um, choose to believe again, choose to be open to new experiences, choose to accept that happiness and good fortune is your right. You have the right to that. It's not even an opportunity, it's just you are entitled to it. Okay, you have to claim it. Don't let yourself get stuck in a storyline that is simply not true. Okay, depression is not your story. It's not meant to be your story. um, it just feels to me like you need to open up again. You have closed. It's almost like being in this state of depression has limited. You've convinced yourself that you don't have the energy, you don't have the focus, you don't have the time, and you don't have the courage to be to be anything else but depressed. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But again, that's not true. That is you choosing to align with something that your soul is saying, no, that's not me, you know? So I don't know if that makes any sense. So to some degree, you want to transcend the depression, but at some level, you're also accepting it as your reality. And that is your soul knows this is not what we're supposed to be doing. This is not what I want. So you want to get out of the depression, but at the same time, the human ego has given up because it's too hard and it's too difficult to change. So I just have to, it's almost like you've accepted that life is just going to be shit and it's going to be hard, and that's just your story. So you need to kick the human ego butt. Okay, you need to surrender to your soul's goals, your soul's plan. Okay, and you need to it says accept happiness. You need to um, move into a state of hope. You need to, how do you do that? That's not something that anybody can tell you how to do. That's not anything spirit can tell you how to do either. It's really, it's about choosing to rewrite your story. It's about choosing choosing consciously what you want to align with. It's about choosing to see goodness in the world. It's about choosing to trust a creative source that you cannot see, smell, or touch. You can feel the source right here in your intuition, but because you're overshadowed with kind of dark thoughts, um, it's not as clear as it should be. Okay? But it can be when you surrender that to the knowing that you're here to thrive, you're here to have fun, you're here, you didn't sign up to just fade away into darkness. You signed up to go on an adventure. You signed up to explore aspects of yourself that you haven't explored yet. You signed up for a temporary virtual reality that cannot hurt you, it cannot harm you, and it doesn't even define you. You're just playing a temporary character that's here to try and just get the best out of this virtual reality. Okay, that's all. Okay, it nothing here on earth defines you. You're too big for that. Your soul is massive and has had thousands of lives. Does that kind of make sense? So don't align with false truth. Don't give in to the darkness, because that's exactly what the darkness wants. Be a rebellious, okay? Go, fuck you, darkness. You're not going to win. I'm in control of my life. Take it back, okay? Accept happiness. Accept that there is good fortune out there waiting for you to be, waiting for you to experience it. Does that kind of make sense? So it's all about perspective, and it's all about learning, or kind of teaching yourself, guiding yourself towards hope, towards trust in your own soul. That, you know, do you know what I'm trying to say? I hope that makes sense. Hey, Manolito! Big kiss. Manolito. I haven't talked to Manolito in forever. We went to high school together. No, elementary school. Elementary school. We went to elementary school. Okay. Nana says, thank you, Emma. So much hate, jealousy from them. Yeah. Exactly true. Okay. Well, I'm glad it resonates. Alrighty. Dusty! Dusty. Let's see. Let's pull a card for Dusty. Dusty. Manolito. Vad steter det kids kwam kukeluren? Ah, la la. Lite groetjes aan mama, papa en broers. De broers. Het is al lang geleden. Dusty. Ooh, hold on. My card's been crazy. When I lean towards love, I am led. When I lean towards love, I am led. When I'm looking at the card, I kind of see two faces. Do you see that? It's like two faces looking at each other. There's the nose and the mouth and the chin. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Um, I don't know if there's new love in your life, or if love is on its way. Could be in the form of a new friendship, could be in the form of a romantic relationship, but it just feels like some new soul is coming into your reality, and it's important to um, allow yourself to be vulnerable with that person. Allow yourself to be open with that person and honest, and your authentic self to be shown. Okay, do not mask or hide behind a mask, or change or alter who you are, what you want to say, what you want to express, out of fear of how the other person will react. True authenticity is necessary in order for this new relationship, this new friendship, whatever it may be, to move into a kind of permanent state um, of blessings and encouragement and support and love and happiness and funness. Yeah, whatever. It all positive stuff. Every positive word, every positive word that you can possibly think of. It just feels like this is meant to happen. This is a soul you're meant to meet. This is a soul that's going to play an important part into your journey and really uplift you. So embrace it, be receptive to it, and most importantly, be yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that helps. That's an answer to a prayer. Oh, good. Well, it's coming. It's coming. See? You see the construction? It's being built right now. The path is being laid. The matrix, all the dots, the matrix is being, this is you. You kind of look like it, they say. Eric says you kind of look like it. This is you. Big chin, big nose. um, and yeah, this individual, everything's under construction. It's coming. It's helping. It's on its way. It's being written into your story. So there you go. Oh my God. Yeah, I love Eric. Yeah, gotta love him. Michelle Forrest. Michelle Forrest. Okay. He's just being a goofball. Michelle. You're welcome, Dusty. Michelle, my belle. Michelle Forrest. Okay. Whoop. Hold on, Michelle. Card fell. Oh, God. Hold on. Hurt my foot this week. While I was in the garden, and it's still acting up. Okay. Ooh, good card, Michelle. Number 19, Fire Dragon's Strength. Okay. Very powerful card. It's time to let your power out. You're playing it too safe. That's what they're saying. You are much more powerful than you give yourself credit, okay? It's almost like you always downsize yourself, You look at other people and you lift them up, and you try to inspire them to see how powerful they are, and how how inspiring they can be to themselves, to others. It's just like you're always lifting everybody up around you. You're always full of compliments, and you're always full of joy towards others, and you're always excited for others. But when it comes to your own self, you see yourself too small, is what they're saying. You are this dragon that the world should fear, but in a good way. Okay. That the world should see, and be able to observe, and to follow, and to trust. And you have so much wisdom and strength and power inside of you. You're so connected. You have the power to heal. There's just so much about you that can help so many people, but it just feels like you're trying to always stick this very powerful being into this pyramid. You're trying to always put yourself into a cubicle, and those cubicles are too small for you. You're not like everybody else, okay? You're trying to fit in, you're trying to be accepted, you're trying to not stand out, and you're meant to stand out. Okay? Stop hiding, stop forcing yourself to match a cubicle like everybody else. You're just too big and too massive to fit into it. Okay? Allow the magnitude to come out, allow the strength to come out, allow yourself to trust your abilities to connect, to receive information from universal sources. You have it all there, but you don't allow yourself to be the inspiration you're meant to be. Okay? So let that fire breathing dragon out and show the world the love, the power, and the wisdom that you possess within. Okay? I'm waiting to hear from you, Michelle. I want to see that happening. So don't belittle yourself and don't. Does that make sense? So you pick a name and out of the blue and a card, and you feel what men say. Yeah, that's what's going on. Do you want a card, Manolito? You can have a card. You just gotta ask. Okay. And then I'll tell you what Spirit tells me. I'm doing cleansings immediately. Good. Good, Nana. Good, good, good. You're welcome. Yeah, when people are negative to us, we just absorb that shit. You want to get rid of that. Just get rid of it. Small wildflowers. Small wildflowers. Okay. I'm scared. Nothing to be scared about. I'm glad it resonates, Michelle. Small wildflowers. Oh my God. There it goes again. Hold on. Ooh, this time it's in a bucket. That works. Ooh, you got two. Ooh. Earth Star activation, anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy. Very cool. And then ancestral realm, karmic release, healing the lineage boundaries. There we go. Okay. What am I getting intuitively? It's kind of weird, but they're giving me an energy in that you're kind of what we call like a shaman, like a medicine man, medicine woman. You have this shamanistic energy inside of you, kind of like what the druids had and what people call witches. And you have this kind of mystery energy inside of you that allows you to to help others heal, that allows you to kind of help others, including yourself, connect to a more profounder, more deeper, more ancestral connection. It's almost like connecting to all of the energies and all of the lives and all of the things that your ancestors have learned along their path, all of that is written into our DNA, right? All the fears, all the joys, all the skills, everything is written in our DNA. It gets programmed into that. And then when they make babies, that all that information is passed on. And it's almost like you have the ability to tap into all of that information, that ancestral, inherited information that is within people that can help the individual um, by releasing ancestral DNA that is negative and is not a part of our journey, and by embracing the ancestral DNA that helps us rise up, that helps us with knowledge and wisdom to face problems and so on and so forth. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's this, yeah, kind of a, it's almost like you need to explore that aspect of you. You need to move or explore shamanism, explore the druids, any kind of these entities, these beings from the past had the ability to look into, they always said they had the ability to look into a soul, right? But it's not so much looking into, well, it is looking into a soul, but it's looking into the energetic blueprint of all the ancestral DNA that was put into this current vessel that you are, right? All of that is programmed and charged. And these kind of beings, they had the opportunity to look into that blueprint and then go, okay, that we need to get rid of, that we need to transform or reprogram, that we can utilize for your strengths to become stronger, to become more powerful. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it just looks like, one, they're advising you to look into anything that's ancestral, whether it's the knowledge of the Aborigines, whether it's Native American knowledge, whether it's the Druids, whether it's shamanism, um, all of that are ancient ways of helping people to heal and be guided in a direction that is positive for them by looking into the ancestral um, uh, story that was imprinted into their DNA. Does that kind of make sense? Because it just feels like you're looking for something. You're looking for, what is it exactly that I'm meant to do? What, it's almost like you feel pulls, you feel drawn to certain things, but nothing really is conclusive. You can't put a label on yourself. Does that kind of do you kind of know what I'm trying to say? Am I a healer? Am I a channeler? Am I this? Am I a remote viewer? It's like you're trying to put a label on yourself. You're trying to define what your abilities are, but you can't define it because it's a combination of many different things into one form. So that's why they advise you not to really define it, but to utilize it, to learn how to harvest it and to learn how to harness it and utilize it. And these kind of beings, shamanistics and druids, they used all kinds of things. They channeled information, they had visions, they did rituals, they used sound frequency and light frequency. They really used the whole spectrum to help and assist and open portals and so on and so forth. It was much bigger than just, you're just this one thing. They're talking about karmic release, but healing the lineage, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so that's what you do. You're here to help people heal and transform their ancestral blueprint so they can move into a 5D reality. Because a lot of times the individual is ready to move into a 5D reality, but the ancestral DNA is stopping them from fully experiencing it yet. That's why a lot of people go through downloads, and they, your soul and your team is trying to transform a lot of the DNA. A lot of people who are waking up into, or who want to move into a 5D reality are having a lot of physical problems because not because there's something wrong with them, but it's because the ancestral DNA needs to be rewritten and reprogrammed in order for you to physically be able to ground yourself in a higher vibrational plane of existence. Does that kind of make sense? So there's a lot of stuff happening on an ancestral DNA mapping kind of way, and it just feels like you're there to help people do that. You're there to make the transition easier, but you first have to, it's almost like reconnect to, it's almost like reconnect, and through reconnection, you will remember these gifts and these abilities that you already have because you've been a druid in your past life. Does that make sense? So there's just a lot going on with you, but that's the direction they want to push you into, because that's where you're going to find the answers. That's where you're going to find the healing. That's where you're going to find your purpose. Does that make sense? So really move into that direction. Have fun with it. Okay. It's about having fun, exploration, experience things for yourself, and then you'll see that you'll it's almost like you'll get memories back. Like as you might, for example, find someone who does sweat lodging. Native Americans, they help, they offer it to people sometimes. You can go there and you can do a sweat lodge, and it just feels like, for example, you're choosing to do a sweat lodge, and in that moment that experience will open something up, a memory, something you've forgotten. It just feels like everything's going to come into puzzle pieces, but it eventually will all come together. You'll see the picture, the full picture. Does that make sense? But yeah, don't try to label yourself. You're not one thing. There's no name really for what you are. I don't like to label myself either. I do so many different things, but I'm a little bit of everything too, but you're even a step further is what they're saying. All right. Is that going to make sense? Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to do a card now for everyone, a collective card. If you guys like these card readings, know that I do them every week for my Patreon members. You can find me Patreon. Let me write it down. Patreon.com/Emanuelle McIntosh. If you like them weekly, then you can meet me there. And then you'll also have access to over 200 channel posts, and I try to make new channelings every week. Which one? This one? Okay. So go check it out. Even if it's just for a month, it's like €5 or $5. Don't quite remember. But you have access to a lot of stuff. All your questions answered, interviews with deceased loved ones, I'm getting tired. I'm doing 2 hours and a half. One more card, and then I'm going to bed. Tammy said, Emma, I think your angel card sessions usually become a theme of what whoever watches. This all resonates to all. Well, I think spirit also, although it's directed to individuals, the way that spirit kind of shows me is in a way that it can help a lot of people, not just the individual. So I think that's what it is. You're welcome, Byron. Ooh, there it went. Hold on. Akashic Records, Evaluation and Review, number 12. There you go. There you go. There you go. Go, go. Manolito is a chicken. Come on, Manolito. I'll pull your cards separate then. Okay. So really, the message for everyone is it's really important to understand that in this human life, we are not only the patient, but also the doctor. We are not only the character going through its life, we're also the creator and the writer. It's about really understanding and embracing and aligning with the truth. And the truth is, in order for you to experience the life that you want, you have to be able to look and observe your own character and observe its actions, its reactions, its emotions, and so on and so forth. You really have to be like a neutral observer and then be able to give yourself neutral advice, right? You have to be able to look at yourself as if you're looking at somebody you love very much, or a best friend, or your child. What advice would you give that individual? And then you have to be brave enough to follow it. Okay. All of the answers are already within you. The Akashic records are completely accessible to you through your soul. Your soul has access to those records, and therefore your soul is trying to help you and guide you and move you into a certain direction. But we have to listen to our soul, and our soul talks to us and through us, through our intuitive center. So really move all energy, all focus from the headspace to the heart. Start living from the heart. Start living from what feels right in the moment. Okay. Don't think too far ahead. Always know that what you feel today, the energy you are today, is what creates and manifests your tomorrow. Okay. You can envision and visualize your future self all you want to, until your emotional center already feels the blessings of that which you see for yourself in the future. Until that center already feels it to be true today, then all that visualizing isn't going to do damn dick. Okay, that's just the reality. It's not going to manifest itself if the mind says, I'm getting it, but the heart says, I'm scared, it's not going to happen. Mind and heart need to be aligned. Okay, you need to trust, you need to surrender the need to have all the answers, and simply make each day the best day yet. Be your authentic self with each day. Show the world who you truly are. Show the love you possess. Show the compassion you possess. Everything starts with you. You want to change the world around you, it starts with how you respond to it. You want to manifest things that'll bring joy to you, then it starts in how you feel about yourself and your life today. If you can remain in a positive, high vibrational state, if you can remain in a state of trust and knowing that everything is in the making for you, if you can remain in a state of trust that everything that happens to you, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, it is happening for you. It is guiding you to become stronger, to become more insightful, to become more knowledgeable about yourself, about how you respond, about how you create, about how you react and act in life. Okay, everything is there to bring insight, awareness, expansion, and evolution Okay. And in the end, it doesn't really matter. Know that song? Because in the end, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. You know why? This is only a temporary creative character that you're designing to have certain experiences. It does not define you, it's not all you are. You are infinitely larger than that. Okay. So, in the end, nothing that happens here actually defines you. It simply adds knowledge onto you about yourself, about who you are, about who you are not. Okay? About all that is and all that is you. Does that make sense? So just know and see it for what it is, and therefore you can relax more, you can enjoy the ride more, and just simply make the best out of every day. But just know that all the change that you want to see starts with you. And change can be simple, it can be um, minimal, but it can have large effects. Okay, so hopefully this helps you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey. Re-listen to it if you have to. I know a lot of these messages will resonate with a lot of people, and we just sometimes need the reminder. Okay, so big kiss mwah, from me to you. And I hope you guys have an amazingly magical week next week. So see you next time.